Trump does not understand anything about humanity, people. He has no empathy. I don't know what he is, but he's an alien, and he wants to hurt this country. It's something deeply psychological in him. He wants to hurt people. He wants to hurt this.
Everyone thought the moment was going to stay calm, and then Robert De Niro stepped forward and completely changed the energy in the room. Trump and JD Vance went from acting like giants to looking like props in a scene they never rehearsed for. What happened next was so sharp and unexpectedly ruthless that the whole room froze until it was done. This wasn't a normal clash. It felt like a cinematic ambush. And honestly, nobody saw that level of destruction coming.
It's an absurd ruling because you have a federal judge effectively telling us what we have to do in the midst of a Democrat government shutdown, which what we'd like to do is for the Democrats to open up the government. Of course, then we can fund SNAP, and we can also do a lot of other.
That affects all of us here because the arts are democratic. Art is inclusive. It brings people together. Like tonight, art looks for truth. Art embraces diversity, and that's why art is a threat. That's why we are a threat to autocrats.
And Trump is standing there like he's waiting for applause that completely forgot to show up. And before anybody can even pretend to care, Robert De Niro steps in with that look people get when they find out their fancy meal was microwaved. He stares at Trump the way a parent stares at a toddler who's convinced they can fly just because they flap their arms twice on a trampoline. No anger, just deep spiritual disappointment.
So blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care, thinks he's gaming society, doesn't pay his taxes. He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment.
And then there's JD Vance next to him, doing that overly excited nodding he perfected somewhere between switching opinions and switching mentors. It's the kind of nod that screams, I'd also like attention, but only after he gets his share. His whole posture looks like that one kid in a group project who did nothing but still wants his name on the front page.
What about what President Trump said? What about what
people.
Mr. Trump said, his own words?
Well, Kristen, the president was talking back then when Barack Obama was president about the political realities. We are focused now on the governing realities because we're in power and we're trying to make the American people's government work for the American people, despite the fact that Chuck Schumer, the Democrats...
I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye.
If you're enjoying the video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell because Niro doesn't warm up. He doesn't stretch. He just starts vaporizing egos like someone burning trash on a Brooklyn sidewalk. He looks Trump up and down, taking in the whole performance. The spray tan confidence, the balloon animal expressions, the posture of a man who thinks standing near gold automatically makes him golden.
America's Philistine president has had himself appointed head of one of our premier cultural institutions. He has cut funding and support to the arts, humanities, and education. And now he has announced a 100% tariff on films produced outside the U.S.
Then his eyes slide over to JD, who straightens up like he's about to get praised, only to realize a second later he basically walked into an emotional wood chipper. JD tries to smile, but it comes out like someone taught him facial expressions using an outdated instruction manual. Niro doesn't even bother addressing him directly. He treats him like background scenery that accidentally grew a heartbeat.
Are the true heroes. They stood and put their lives on the line for these lowlives, for Trump.
They lied under oath. Right.
Who lied under oath? What are you telling me?
Those two traitors behind you.
Excuse me?
Those two traitors behind you.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
They're traitors.
They're traitors. I don't even know how to deal with.
Niro starts pacing around them, not dramatically, just like a guy deciding which part of a mess to clean first. Trump puffs himself up like a blowfish that still hasn't figured out size doesn't equal respect. JD tries to copy him, which only makes him look like an intern testing out power poses from a leadership blog written in 2011. Darrow begins roasting Trump with surgical accuracy, the kind of precision that comes from years of recognizing nonsense instantly. He calls out the aura of a man who thinks charisma can be stapled on, the posture of someone holding in a brag, and the confidence of a guy whose last successful project was convincing people his failures were intentional. Trump tries to keep that signature expression somewhere between confusion and triumph, but even that looks worn out, like the face took a break and left a cardboard stand-in. JD watches like he's in a seminar, nodding harder with every insult, forgetting completely that he's next. He tries to stand like he matters, but all he really does is highlight the fact that he's the political version of a very shiny doormat. Darrow slides over to JD so smoothly the air doesn't have time to catch up. He studies him like he's trying to figure out which bargain bin produced someone with so much ambition and so little structure. JD puffs up with hope, but Darrow raises one eyebrow, the kind of eyebrow that ends careers before breakfast.
It's a very bad situation. I remember you and I about 5-6 years ago talking. I'm down at the Spring Studios, something about, I said, what just happened, just happened. No, it didn't happen. It's all about truth. And what we have here is a denial of truth all over the place. And even the speech that he made after is insane. It's just insane, and I'm very, very concerned about it.
Trump jumps in with exaggerated bravado, trying to reinsert himself into the universe. The man radiates the energy of someone trying to build a monument to himself out of cardboard, duct tape, and pure denial. Darrow barely glances at him, just enough to make Trump shrink spiritually by half an inch. Then he launches a roast so sharp it could slice through the hairspray holding Trump's worldview in place. Not directly, but through imagery that makes it clear his confidence is held together by a Jenga tower of self-delusion and stale catchphrases. Darrow shifts his attention between them like he's hosting a contest for most emotionally fragile, and both contestants really want to win. Trump tries to perform dominance, but it looks like his moves were choreographed by someone who's never met a real human. Big gestures, loud posture, zero substance. Pure helium. You could tie a ribbon to him and watch him float.
Staff General Kelly reminded us that Trump admires Hitler and ridicules our American troops who died for us. He mumbles, he stumbles, and blubbers on, exhibiting clear signs of dementia. He promoted the Project 2025 agenda. That's all in memory.
JD tries copying that same posture, but on him it looks like a guy wearing his dad's oversized jacket stuffed with borrowed swagger. Darrow watches this sad imitation with an expression that basically says, "This is why sequels fail." Then he starts dissecting their dynamic like a scientist studying a species powered entirely by insecurity. Trump struts around like he's auditioning for the role of ego with legs, while JD follows like someone trying to share the spotlight even though he's standing in total darkness. Without quoting anyone, Darrow makes the whole dynamic obvious: the leader who lives off applause and the follower who lives off the leader's applause. He slices through their illusions like it's nothing: the fake confidence, the oversized self-importance, the need to announce greatness before anyone asked. Then he turns to JD gently at first, like tapping a cracked vase to see how close it is to collapsing. He imagines JD's political journey like a GPS constantly recalculating, trying to find the fastest route to relevance even when the roads don't exist. Trump tries one last burst of bravado, puffing himself up like a parade balloon, and Darrow reacts like he's seen louder tantrums in the cereal aisle. JD tries to copy Trump again, but just ends up looking like a malfunctioning wind-up toy running out of battery.
Step back and remember, Kristen, that there is a clean bill to open the United States government. The vast majority of Republicans and even a few moderate Democrats voted to open the government, but it's Chuck Schumer and the far left of Senate Democrats who
I hate bullies, thugs who use their strength to push other people around. They think they can achieve power and hang on to it by intimidating others. Sadly, sometimes it works, but most of the time it doesn't. And now we have Trump.
He's all that about intimidation.
De Niro finally ties them together in one clean, brutal flourish. A showman bloated on old illusions, and a sidekick who traded in his backbone for access. Trump stews, JD simmers, and De Niro walks right through the tension like it's cheap fog from a bad machine. He doesn't pause, doesn't slow, doesn't soften. He keeps roasting them with the ease of someone who spent decades watching insecure men pretend they're powerful and learning exactly how to expose them with a raised eyebrow and a velvet-wrapped verbal hammer. He smirks, tilts his head, almost asking, why does this guy still think he's the main character when he can barely handle a subplot? And somewhere in that same energy, JD is doing his off-brand imitation of Trump's bravado, looking like a glitching animation stuck on the wrong frame. De Niro notices it instantly and gives him that squint you'd give a GPS, confidently suggesting you turn left into a lake. JD answers with a smile so forced it should come with a warranty.
Compared the Trump family to a gangster family, which is something coming from you. What do you mean?
They are. Well, because he thinks he's a gangster. He does everything like a gangster. I don't think that gangsters in that world would think much of him, because there's honor among thieves. There's honor in anything. If you don't keep your word and do the right thing with people, no matter what profession you're in, you are.
Niro tightens the screws, drifting back toward Trump like a scientist studying a confused creature that somehow keeps escaping into public life. Trump tries another pose, half defiant leader, half guy checking if his shirt makes him look wealthy. Niro studies it for a moment before giving a half smirk strong enough to collapse a self-image. He keeps breaking down Trump's whole vibe with calm amusement, the posture, the practiced gestures, the belief that every room is waiting to be blessed by his entrance. The confidence feels less like leadership and more like a lifetime habit of refusing to read instructions because he already knows everything. And JD, trying to echo Trump's attitude from the sidelines, ends up looking like an overstressed bobblehead shaking for survival.
So angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has. He talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face. This is somebody that we want for president? I don't think so. What I care about is the direction of this country. And what I'm very, very worried about is that it might go in the wrong direction with someone like Donald Trump. If you care about your future.
Then Niro shifts to JD with heat-seeking precision, laying out his entire political reinvention saga. The quick upgrades, the convenient makeover moments, the chameleon routine. JD straightens up proudly, as if being called adaptable is praise and not a warning sign. Niro raises a hand in the imaginary scene, telling him to pause, leaving JD frozen mid-expression, somewhere between grateful and confused. The next wave hits harder. He breaks down their partnership again. Trump the balloon full of self-regard, JD the string clinging for relevance. Trump performs dominance, JD imitates it. Trump strides with dramatic confidence, JD scurries behind just trying to stay in frame. JD tries to jump in with over-the-top loyalty, but one look from Niro, just one, is enough to shut him down completely. He steps back, like someone trying to leave the room without triggering motion sensors. Niro swings back to Trump, calling out the illusions, the theatrics pretending to be leadership, the lifelong romance with mirrors and applause. Trump absorbs it all with that familiar expression of confident misunderstanding.